Now, I need you to understand something. The battle for the soul of the Democratic Party has commenced. The battle for the entire soul of the party has commenced. When you see Donna Brazile come out marching and saying that we need to be introspective, meaning we need to look at ourselves because something wrong with us, now you know the full-on civil war is in effect. And quite frankly, I've said this 1,000 times. I said the power of the Democratic Party comes out of my hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana. And people don't seem to understand New Orleans is like the White House, a Democrat White House of the South. It truly is. I mean, everything runs through that city. Everything runs through the consultants of that city. Everything runs through that state because it's such a corrupt city and state. And corruption makes money. Let's just keep it real. If you don't believe me, just watch. Some good old-fashioned chaga tea to help with stomach inflation, ladies and gentlemen. Inflammation because of the iced coffee that I had earlier. Now, if there's somebody you should pay attention to in the Democratic Party, it's two people, Jim Carvell and Donna Brazile. This is the old guard of the Democratic Party. All the rest of these people that's running around the far left, they ain't what it is. This is the true power of the Democratic Party. And the far left destroyed the existing Democratic Party, the one that was. It's no longer that party. They have to fight this out. This is why I would say any maneuver, any ploy, any trick, any trap, or any snare set to try and disrupt what's coming with Donald Trump is only going to make it worse for them. But this is what you got to understand about wicked people. They don't care. They just wicked all day long. But watch what Donna has to say. And this is going to be the first time you really see someone being an adult about this and actually thinking about what happened.
There's been a lot of soul searching, questioning what comes next. I want to read you one of the things. Richie Torres, congressman from New York, Democrat, said this after the election. Donald Trump has no greater friend than the far left, which has managed to alienate historic numbers of Latinos, blacks, Asians, and Jews from the Democratic Party with absurdities like defund the police or from the river to the sea or Latinx. The working class is not buying the ivory-towered nonsense that the far left is selling. Was that a factor here, Donna?
You know, Jonathan, if you ask 10 Democrats what happened, I'm sure you will receive 12 opinions.
Oh, she's so cold-blooded. She cold-blooded. Watch this. I'm not answering that question. She decides she's not going to answer that question because she's so skilled. I mean, I met Donna. Donna is skilled. She's not going to answer that question. She's going to talk about what the hell she wants to talk about. Here it comes.
And the truth is, we should put it all on the table and have a great introspection as to what happened. What happened in New Jersey when Chris and I was sitting there on election night, and I'm looking at Chris like, hey, what's going on? And what was going on in Minnesota? What was going on, of course, in Massachusetts and Rhode Island?
Which was Trump was doing better in all these
Trump
blue
improved
places.
not just his numbers in the battleground, which we were talking about on election night, 3 to 4 points. He also improved in inner cities. He improved in outer suburbs. So it looks like Trump ran the 50-state strategy that the Democrats used to talk about. So we can talk about messaging. We can talk about the map. We can also talk about just, was 107 days enough? All of this should be on the table. We're going to have a lot of introspection. I want to say this, and I've lost my voice because clearly...
You've been talking a lot.
But more importantly, look, the Democratic Party, I was there 8 years ago when Donald Trump defeated Hillary Clinton. And we looked at ourselves and said, what the hell? We tried to stitch together the blue wall with Elmer's glue. We needed duct tape and a lot more.
No, you need more than duct tape. You needed concrete, and y'all couldn't get no concrete, Donna.
We got to do a better job of reaching the voters where they are and not try to make pretend that this was won simply because Donald Trump is a better liar.
There it is. And that's her polite way of saying we got to look at what the hell we've been doing and we've been saying and stop pretending like it's somebody else's fault. And I'm pretty sure that's what she's been, I'm pretty sure she said way worse than that in private because you would have to say use stronger verbiage in private in order for people to understand what in the hell is going on. You cannot sit here and talk about craziness and think that the American people are going to fall in line with it. You cannot speak inside an echo chamber and believe with your heart and in your soul that the American people are going to fall for your echo chamber. You can't say, hey, we want men to go in women's bathrooms at Target because they feel like they're a woman, and think that America is going to say, hey, we cool with that. And anyone who would have, just that one kitchen table issue, any man who has a wife that takes his wife to the store and she says, babe, I'll be right back, I'm going to go to the restroom. The simple fact that that man has to have in the back of his mind that some random dude might go into the restroom while his wife is in the restroom means that he ain't voting for you. You don't know how many times I've been in restaurants or stores and you will see dudes standing by the women's restroom door. Hell, you don't know how many times I've done it. Because society has went to batshit crazy. And so just being put in that situation where if you just so happen to be in the place where somebody who's a man says he's going to go in the restroom with your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter, the thing that you're going to have to do in that situation puts your whole future at risk. Why? Because of a philosophy? Because of an ideology that's backwards? And I mean, that's just at the simplest form. And so the Democratic Party lost the ability to connect with common sense in the average person.
Now, you were not a Trump supporter, let's to say the least, Chris. But I saw you nodding when I was reading Richie Torres's.
Oh, he's absolutely right, because the Democratic Party from 2017 through 2024.
Damn, you look like you half dead, man. Why you look so pale in the face?
Went off the deep end. I mean, the stuff they've been saying is just offensive to a large percentage of the American people. The DEI stuff is offensive to a large swath of the American people. The most effective ad that the Trump campaign ran in this campaign was, Kamala Harris is for they, them.
Yep.
And Donald Trump is for us. That's because most people don't see themselves as they, them. Yet the Democrats have spent more time talking about a trans issue, which, quite frankly, is infinitesimal, John.
To be fair, it was the Republicans that were spent more time talking about it.
No, John, there were...
This is crazy. Let the man, he cooking truth, but nobody want to see. They want to defend the lie.
Responding to the push Democrats put. It wasn't Republicans who brought up the trans issue initially. It was Democrats accusing Republicans of being insensitive, intolerant, and all the rest.
Words
right.
From 5 years ago.
Okay. But so my point to you, though, is that what the election proved is that is out of step with a majority of the American people. And Torres is right. And what happened was, to relatively sane people, like Cory Booker, who I know incredibly well. You look at Cory Booker as the mayor of Newark and initially as a United States senator before he ran for president in 2020. And this was a moderate, pro-law and order, pro-school choice Democrat. He ran in that primary and went so far left that he came back to New Jersey and people didn't recognize him. That's what the party became. And
that's exactly what it is. You see, because they let the far, far, far left get control of the narrative of their party and basically bully people into their causes and their beliefs, that anybody who ran as a Democratic candidate had to get in line with this crazy foolishness. Now, let's be honest, and we need to be clear. It doesn't excuse them. This is their civil war. This is their finger pointing. But there is truth in the finger pointing. He just hit the number one issue. I just talked about the issue. And to be clear with you, I haven't watched this. I'm not one of those guys that sit down and watch it, then comment on it. I sit down and watch it with you. So I hadn't watched the whole thing, but it's the number one comment. Men came out to vote overwhelmingly, right? And the number one issue for men is we have daughters, we have goddaughters, we have wives. And you sitting here trying to tell me that even if they don't recognize the threat to them, it's our job and our duty to recognize the threat. And so we singled out the threat. It was a target-rich environment, and we decided we was going to deal with it through voting. And they should have been able to see this coming. The simple fact that, and I'm pretty sure Donna did see this, and I'm pretty sure Chris Christie did see this, but they were so far down that road And I'm telling you, it's going to take them years to dig themselves out of this hole, because they've went to the point to where they've institutionalized it in schools, LGBTQ stuff in schools. So they've institutionalized it. So they have generations of Democratic voters who believe this foolishness. These people are, they're dying off. This is why the Democratic Party is dead. In fact, Donald Trump is about to save the Democratic Party. So all you women cutting your hair off your head, blah, blah, he about to save your crazy behind with what he's going to do, if he's allowed to do it. And this is the one thing that nobody's going to talk. He's about to save the Democratic Party by undoing the demonic, devilish, devious crap that they did.
This is a reaction.
So
and the craziest thing is the man that never get credit for it.
Heard a different take from Bernie Sanders.
Of course.
Maybe the reverse of what we heard from Mitch. I want to read this too and get to you guys. This is Bernie Sanders after the election. It should come as no great surprise that a Democratic Party which has abandoned working class people should find that the working class has abandoned them. First it was the working class, now it is Latino and black workers as well. First it was the white working class. While the Democratic leadership defends the status quo, the American people are angry and want change, and they are right. Julie, I mean, what else? I mean, where's the balance here? What are we hearing most of?
Well, I think, look, Donna's right. I think right now, if you ask Democrats, there's a whole range of reasons that they're giving for why Harris lost this race. But I actually do think that there's some overlap in what Torres said there and what Sanders is saying, which is the Democrats lost the message on the economy, right? They lost the message on the ways that the economy was impacting people. They focused on these macroeconomic trends. You know, when Biden was talking about some of the overall economic pictures, he wasn't wrong. But
the economy is improving.
The economy was.
No. See, this is the problem. You can't tell people how they wallet feel. You can't tell me if my money's schizophrenic. I know my money's schizophrenic. So this is the problem. They will not accept it. If my money is schizophrenic, where on Monday it feel good, on Tuesday it feel bad, on Monday it spend good, on Tuesday ain't nothing to spend, you can't tell me nothing about the economy is getting better. That don't matter. What you say don't matter. My money is losing its damn mind. It's schizophrenic. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the problem with these people. You want to tell people what they should believe instead of accepting what they are experiencing.
It was improving at a macro level, but was that impacting people in their lives? And the reality was it wasn't. And they were really focused
at a macro level. Girl, you dirty sandy beach, sit down.
And understandably so. If you're in the office, you've got to be able to try to sell the economy that you've got. But they were so focused in so many ways at trying to convince people that the economy was strong that they didn't realize that people weren't feeling that. And so
No. We didn't. It's not that we didn't feel it. No, the economy. Why you can't tell the truth? You spend so much time trying to convince people that the economy was strong when it wasn't strong. Not that they didn't feel it. That's a lie. No, it wasn't strong. It's not strong. And people can look at go to the grocery store and tell how weak the economy is, particularly how weak their dollar is. This is why they will continue to lose until they break this spell. And I believe God cursed them. I believe God put a special curse on everybody who is aligned with the Democratic Party.
So I think that's inherent in what both Torres and in what Sanders are saying, actually.
And
stop lying. If you just stop lying for 1 second, you guys can get to some truth. But they just won't do it. They will not stop lying, man. They won't do it. And it's disgusting, to be honest with you. It's like, come on, dude, for real.